Namaste, my beautiful girls. My beauties, there will be no cards in this video. You know how many times I've asked myself, why do I have such a need to share with you this information? Why don't I just do the cards and just leave the rest to, I don't know, karma, to gods, to your guides, to your keepers to get you to the information you need to know? But then this urge of go and tell them, and I know that this information I'm telling you would be not the interest of many of you, but I have already said, if there will be 1, 2, or 3 of you who will hear me, that is already a big thing, because sometimes I feel and I think, I have this fear, my beautiful queens. I have this fear, what if something happens to me tomorrow, I don't know, in a week, and then I'm gonna take this knowledge with me to wherever I'm going, and I'm not gonna, then I will feel so bad, probably even being out there, that I haven't given it to you, because this information, I know that you will not find this information available in English. And how can I not share it with you if I know the power of this little thing I am about to tell you? The thing is that you know and understand that the sound has unbelievable power. Nicholas Tesla, please look up anything you can find about Nicholas Tesla. Nicholas Tesla said, you can create anything in your life if you understand 3 simple things. What are three simple things, my beautiful queens? Everything is consisting of 3 things. Everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. Energy, vibration, and frequency. Frequency, vibration, energy. Everything, you, me, rocks, universe, this planet, other planet, this dimension, other dimension, multiverses, frequency, vibration, and energy. And the sound is extremely powerful, because it is believed that everything originated from the sound. So there is this one musical instrument. My beauties, please, if you hear me, please share it with others. I must tell you this. I must tell you this, because no one else will tell you this. There is the musical instrument, the only one instrument which exists up till now on our planet, which has this name, Gusli. You can look it up. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it. Please go Google it and you see how it looks. The sound of this instrument, the vibration of this instrument, is the vibration of the cosmos. And this instrument has a history of tens thousands, hundreds of thousand years old. Gusli. It's the string instrument, and for last over 1,000 years, this instrument was heavily destroyed. It was forbidden. People who had it would be punished up, including death penalty. They were taken away. They were burned by dozens. It was a sin. So when Christianity was forced onto Slavs, which originally were, of course, had a Vedic knowledge. That's where Vedas are coming from. The Slav-Aryans, which had Slav-Aryans Vedas, which are origin of Indian Vedas. I'll go into it. So these people had this musical instrument for tens of thousands of years. So when approximately 1,000 years ago, the Christianity were heavily taking over the territory of Great Tartaria. It was a humongous empire, Slav Vedic empire, which you will not find in mainstream history. They took it out completely. The empire lasted 110,000 years. Great Tartary or Velikaya Tartaria. 110,000 years was wiped out from mainstream history. They didn't want anybody to know about it. But this, of course, there are proofs everywhere. So when it heavily took over and was wiping out anything what left from Vedic knowledge, and Christianity was taking over, and everybody who knew anything were destroyed and killed, similar how Inquisition was wiping out anybody who had any true knowledge. For 650 years, Inquisition was burning and torturing Christian Catholic Inquisition. Think about it. 650 years. Over 600 years, people were tortured on such devices. You can't imagine. You can look it up if you want on YouTube. And burned. Mainly those who had gifts, which are now called empathy or psychics, or anybody who would open a mouth against church for knowledge, for science. You're gonna go to be burned at a stake. It's as simple as that. So Gusli and those who could play them were destroyed, because the sound of Gusli, my beautiful queens, this sound can absolutely change. I feel now bad that I didn't tell you before about it. I'm going to link under this video, I'm going to link several videos where you will be able just to hear the sound of Gusli, because it's coming back right now, because we're in quantum transition. It's coming back right now. Please just simply listen to it. Just listen to the sound, and I will explain what it is, why it's so important. This information, I'm sorry for those of you girls who don't really care. You don't have to listen to this, but for those who want to know, I always say, for those who want to know, I am speak. So Gusli, why it is important? So it changes your vibration. Dark entities cannot be there. It completely awakens you. This is why it was forbidden, because it makes you free. It makes you feel who you truly are, what you are. You're gonna cry. When I first started to listen to it, I cried, because this heaviness on your heart chakra, heaviness of your heart chakra is just simply lifted, and people cry, because you finally, it's like you coming, it feels like you are in a cage, you are coming into the room full of light. Again, I will link under this video the videos with Gusli. Please play it. Please play it to other people who are sick, who are depressed, who are stressed. Just play it as a music. It sounds, you know what it sounds like? When I first hear it, I said it's sitar. It's Indian sitar, because Indian sitar has similar sound to it, because of course everything is originated there. So anything and everything what would make you wake up was destroyed, was forbidden, and there are forces up to now who wants us to stay asleep. And unfortunately, those forces are not very thrilled about people like me, and I do not know for how much longer I will be talking with you. So they don't want you to wake up, because, well, what happens if you wake up? You realize you don't have to come to church, bring the money. And what is churches? They don't even pay taxes. It's pretty much they survive on those who are unawakened. You go there, you bring their money, you bring your energy, because it's egregores. If you suddenly realize you are it, you are one with all the energies, with all the source, with the universe. Why? You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You know what to do. You know the truth. Of course, nobody wants it. So anything and everything which would make you wake up was destroyed. In the year of 1903, think about it, over 100 years ago, it was a city which called Bombay. Now it's called Mumbai. So there was a book by, if I don't mix his name, Tilak, Balagdahar, if I am not wrong, Balagdahar Tilak. He published a book which he called the Arctic Homeland in Vedas. Imagine this incredible scientist. So he spent his entire life researching ancient text and sacred hymns. And he, after 30 years of research, he discovered that all those were originated tens of thousands years ago, not on the territory of Iran or India, but on territory of North Pole, Arctic homeland in Vedas. He deeply researched Rig Veda, Mahabharat, if those of you who know the sacred Indian text, Upanishads, including Iranian Avesta. 30 years of research. Texts were not created neither in India nor in Iran. Texts were created north of Europe, North Pole. So he was analyzing hymns of Rig Veda and wrote a book which you can find now, which called the Arctic Home in the Vedas in 1903. But scientists, they hush, they don't want to talk about it. The mainstream history is nonsense, and everybody who knows anything knows about it. So what happens? Why I need to explain you this? I have to get it all explained, what and why. So in his book, the Arctic Home in Vedas, Tilak, he translates and analyzes the hymns of Rig Veda, and they contain a number of indications that their authors were familiar with natural realities of the Arctic. So they were accurately and systematically reflected in the prayers addressed to those gods to whom they were attributed, the role of manifestation of all the atmospheric forces and all the territorial phenomena. So Tilak, he revealed in the hymns the path of the increase in the duration of sun months, corresponding to the movement of the ancient inhabitants of polar region from north to south. So he said those people who brought Vedas to India had blue eyes and light hair. Of course, not just blue eyes and light hair, but white rishi from north, because many ancient Indian texts says Vedas were brought to us by white rishis from north. And his most important conclusion was that those ancestors were from North Pole. Can you imagine that in 20th century there were scientists, geology, archaeology, so on and so on, 12 country expeditions who proved that tens of thousands years ago, approximately at least 12,000 years ago, North Pole had subtropical climate. The city Hyperborean, or the city of pyramids, where people lived side by side with gods. The city was located beyond the North Pole, that city called Daria. Dar means gift. So Tilak was able to understand the contents of the priestly text of all Vedic literature. So he was from family of Brahmins. And of course, all his childhood, he heard of the Brahmins, hymns, so on and so on. And he was deeper and deeper and deeper getting into Vedas, penetrated into the secret meanings and metaphors of the language, so on and so on. And he proved that the origin of Vedas are so-called Aryans or Slavic-Aryan Vedas. There were originally 4 groups of Aryans. The Aryans, they had those gray silver eyes, kind of whitish hair. Aryans had green eyes and light brown hair. Then there were Svetarusi, blue eyes and hair of like cornflower, and also Rassiani, I would be from those, brown eyes and black or brown hair. Girls, the text of Slav-Aryan Vedas were hidden over 1,000 years from the eyes of majority of people. It was the year 1996 they were finally out of the this shadow. They have such in-depth knowledge about nature and reflect history of mankind. You would be shocked. They reflect history of past 110,000 years. Slavic-Aryan people had 4 main types of writing. The oldest is Aryan runes. In ancient time, Aryan runes served as the main base of the creation of or simplified form of writing. Sanskrit, Devanagari, German, Scandinavian, Norse runes, so on and so on. They all originated from Slavic-Aryan runes or Aryan Karuna. Right now, Slavic people still speak Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not dead. Russians, Belarus, Ukrainian, Slovenian, Slovakian, we still speak Sanskrit. This, my beautiful girls, is Sanskrit. And it was known for many and many years. In Slav-Aryan Vedas, I already told you, this earth is called Midgard earth. Because other planets, they also called earths. In Slav-Aryan Vedas, we can see many planets. Urs Horsa, Urs Mertsana, Urs Taurea is Mars. Urs Perun, Jupiter. Urs Tribog, Saturn, so on and so on. Did you know that lots of Indian scientists purposely come to the territory of Russia to hear live Russian language? Because this is 2,000 years ago in India, this was the language spoken. In 1963, there was a professor of Sanskritology, Durga Prasad Shastri. So he arrives in Moscow. Imagine this. 1963, heck knows where. Arrives in Moscow. Several days he stays and he declines interpreter. He understands everybody around him. Everybody speaks Sanskrit, which is Russian. Durga Prasad Shastri is a professor of Sanskritology, understands everybody speaking around them. Okay? How? He goes to visit little village, 25 kilometers from Moscow. And the first woman he sees there, she comes to him and she says, she comes to him with her son and daughter-in-law. And she says this, "Он мой сын, она моя сноха." Он, he, мой, my, сын, son. Она, she, is my daughter-in-law. Он мой сын, она моя сноха in Russian. You want to know how it is in Sanskrit? Он мой сын, она моя снукха. Exactly the same. And he said, Durga Prasad Shastri, he said, I wished Panini, the great Indian grammarian who lived 2,800 years ago, could listen to the language of his own time. The Russian word sin, son in English, sonu in Sanskrit, okay, moi in Russian, modya in Sanskrit, so on and so on. Then he gave a lecture telling that these two languages are absolutely identical. I will give you another sentence. To ваш дом, that is your house. Это наш дом, this is our house. To ваш дом, Russian. Tat was the ham, Sanskrit. Это наш дом, this is our house. Этот наш дхам, Sanskrit. The young languages of Indo-European groups such as English, French, German, Hindi directly goes back to Sanskrit. Those languages, they must use the verb is or are, without which the sentences given above cannot exist. Russian and Sanskrit, only two languages which exist in the world, which can manage without the link verb is or are, while remaining completely correct, both grammatically and idiomatically. The word is also very similar to both есть in Russian, asti in Sanskrit, естинство in Russian, естество in Sanskrit, existence. Shastri that had written this fantastic book called From Volga River to Ganga. And he brought this sentence, this terminology of Slav Indians. Nobody knows about it. No one talks about it. So, North Russian tradition is the base of sacred rituals of India. Vimana in India, Vaitmana in Slavic-Aryan Vedas, spaceships, I already said. Yes, 12, 15, 20,000 years ago, they had spaceships. They had knowledge of every, not just our galaxy. What do you see in swastika? Swastika is symbol of our galaxy. Swastika is very ancient. Sva means sky. Tik, movement. This is very ancient Slavic-Aryan symbol also of our galaxy. If you look at our galaxy, you see the galaxy has these 4 sleeves. Okay. In both cultures, what you need to know, why am I talking about it in connection to Gusli? So, North Russian tradition is the base of sacred rituals of India. In both cultures, there is huge meaning is given to water swimming birds, especially to swans. So the swan, you can see Gayatri won the swan, Lakshmi with the swan, Parvati with the swan, and so on. Why? Swan is a symbol of the sun, the sky, the light, the universe, the soul which knows true light. That's why I say you cannot turn a rat into a swan. But also, goose means either swan or goose. In Russian, goose. So also the word swan or goose means, this bird means the music of the universe. the music of cosmos. So the swan or the goose is a sacred bird. So Gusli is a sacred musical instrument which has the same vibration as cosmos. So in both Sanskrit and Russian, the sound gu means to sound. Also, it's moving up, also waking up. So if you go into Vedic text, Mahabharata, Ati Parva, so on, you will read that creation of the universe happened this way. There was a Brahma, not Brahma, no. Brahma means male and female energy, unknowable to real and unreal. Main power which creates everything. You know what was the main power of Brahma? Their sound. Yes, the sound. First the sound, then sound creates 7 other sounds, and the union of those sounds creates an accord. So from the sound, an invisible creative light, comes the visible light, which later transforms into the 7 colors. And then what happens? Everything you can see gets an image. Everything visible and invisible was born from the sound. This is why ancient people were considered sun worshippers. They never worshipped sun as sun. It's just the visible light. The light which creates everything which you can actually see. They never worshipped the sun. They would praise the sun as visible, creative light. So you take Indian Upanishads, and they say that true creative light is a white bird, white goose. That's why Gusli, or white swan. And Upanishads say that this light is present in each one of us. So Gusli is the only musical instrument on our planet which has the sound of cosmos. The sound which vibrates like cosmos, like creative sound which create everything. This is why this instrument was destroyed and forbidden. And this instrument is mentioned in Rig Veda. This sound will open you the connection to yourself, the truth. It sounds beautifully. My beautiful girls, I hope what I have said make any sense to you. I had to share it, whatever made sense to you or not. I had to share it. If anything I said makes absolutely no sense to you, please just click this link under this video and listen to this instrument. And if you have a grandma who doesn't feel very well, or somebody who's sad, or somebody, girls, you don't even have to explain everything I just explained. You just turn on that music and listen to it. Play it to your children when they misbehave. Play it in the house, but I'm warning you, those who are really with dark entities, they might not like it at the beginning. They might say it's annoying, because it's not annoying them, it's annoying the dark entities. They can't handle this vibration. Listen to it. And I hope with all my heart, if this wasn't too boring, and I hope you will listen to Gusli, and you will give it to your friends and family members, and you will feel joy being one with you, being one with the source of everything, being one with light, one with it all. And you start shining your true authentic light. Намасте. Благодарю.